What's up, beautiful people? Welcome to the Link Up with your spiritual advisor, Mark McCline. Man, it's been a long time. Hey, I hope y'all miss me like I missed y'all, man. Like, hey, brother, that you know, in my absence, what I was wondering, right? I be trying to figure out how these pastors and ministers and the people who say they represent God, how do y'all stay faithful to a schedule? You know what I'm saying? Like, what is going on in your world, your life, where when you say, I will be here Sunday at 8 a.m., you there every Sunday at 8 a.m. With everything that I've experienced since I've been absent, I'm like, how is that possible? You know what I'm saying? Like, for real, like, you got to question a lot of stuff that people be saying that be going on with them. Like, now, I don't trust that routine. Because what God has been allowing me to go through in my absence with that, I mean, it withheld me from getting on here first and foremost, obviously. You know what I'm saying? Still all praise to God because all things do work together for the good of God. He do what he do, and he do it with best. There's no questioning what it is. You know what I'm saying? I want to thank all of y'all, man, because I ain't lost not one subscriber. I mean, ain't nobody left. So evidently that make me feel like I'm doing my job. Y'all appreciate my delivery and what I'm bringing to the things that I'm saying, the subjects that I speak on, et cetera, et cetera. So I want to thank y'all and applaud y'all for real for not one person left. I actually gained. I didn't lose. I actually gained, even in my absence. You know what I'm saying? But like I say, all praise be to God for that. You know what I'm saying? But let's get. I mean, it honestly disturbs me now to think how people stay on such a routine. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's almost like it's a gimmick. It got to be a gimmick because life is not that consistently perfect for you to make every weekly routine schedule. Like, how do you get away from everyday life where you can keep such a schedule? And then I was sitting back in the process of this, I'm like, I got to get back to the podcast. I got to speak to the people. I got to teach. I got to do this. And it was like, no, sit down. It's time for you to learn. So I'm sitting down. I'm biting nails and this, that, and other. Because I got used to being on here and talking to y'all and this, that, and other. So I'm talking to God like, man, you done had me start this stuff. And, you got people communicating and relying on me and waiting on me to get back on here and, help them through life, help them build a relationship with you, help them see things from a different perspective, go into higher learning, higher building within their spiritual self. And then you just gonna make me disappear. So, we building because I didn't know it at the time, but I went into the wilderness. You know what I'm saying? Now, some of y'all, what y'all call the wilderness, that's going to be kind of evasive. I don't even want to go in depth with that because I don't know what y'all would call that. But my wilderness is just going within myself. I'm not absent from the world. I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. You feel me? I'm in the world, but I'm not of the world. So me and God going through our thing with what lesson he want me to learn. And let me tell you, like, man, he sent me through some rough patches. I mean, it was things that occurred that I'd have never thought, I'd have never thought it to happen. You know what I'm saying? I think I got on here once and told y'all about, that I suffered a great loss to me personally that I considered a great loss. And I'm not even going to say I'm not going to necessarily say it was a loss or that it is a loss, but he definitely put a strain on a great part of my life that I wasn't looking forward to. You know what I'm saying? I didn't think that I would have to suffer what I suffered. I never seen it coming, so to speak. So, I went through that, and I went through some other things, that kind of shaped my mind as far as to always do things as best as I can. You know what I'm saying? I only know how to do what's right according to my thinking, my logic, my intelligence. And in my head, in my heart, I feel like I always try to do right by people and bring whatever is in me to bring the best out for them to evolve and become their better self however, you know, and in hindsight, in my absence, what God was allowing me to see is that a lot of the people that, excuse me, a lot of the people that I was giving that time to and thought myself to be helpful to them and inspiring even, or just supportive, you know, like having your back, like whatever it is you trying to do, if it sounded good, made sense to me, I'm like, you know, go ahead, do that, fight for it. If that's what you want to do, make it happen. I don't have to see it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody has to see your vision for it to really work. You know what I'm saying? Because your vision is your vision. So if the vision come to you and say, you know, oh man, I found this popcorn ingredient, it's about to go down, this, that, and the other, is distinguished from all others. And, you know, I taste the popcorn, I'm like, dang, that's some cold popcorn. Like, okay, do your thing. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't know where it's going to go, but if that's your vision, I'm going to support that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm going to keep it moving. It's not for me, it's your vision. So don't expect me to be at the popcorn stand every day just to say that, oh yeah, he really support me. You know, he on my team. I don't have to be there every day. That's not how business work. That's not how dreams manifest. Like, if y'all thinking that, and y'all got people in y'all corner, and you pushing them out your corner because they not supportive the way that you want them to be, or the way that you think they should be, then that's a fault to you as a business person. You know what I'm saying? You got to fulfill your dream, your vision. You got to do it the way you got to do it. You can't ask the rest of us to stop our life and just be there for you because you got a vision of a business plan that you think everybody's supposed to just jump behind you and just allow you to lead us. Like, we got dreams and visions too that we got to get going on. So we do what we can for each other and we keep it moving. When you begin to criticize the vision, or the visionary begins to criticize the supporters, then you begin to lose that support. You begin to create ridicule. You begin to create distance. You get to, you know, you create an environment of unhappiness, unfriendliness. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not talking about just in all business. I'm talking about really in relationships, period. But my point of it is all of us are gifted by God. Everybody has a gift from God. I don't care what your gift is. Some of your gifts make money, some of it don't. Some of y'all, you know, is great comedians. Y'all in everyday life, y'all make people laugh. I got an Uncle West that we call Uncle West. I swear he like a Bernie Mac to me. In any given situation, sometimes he overbearing, but yet and still in any given situation, he's always going to bring laughter to a situation. So that's your talent. He don't get paid for it. He probably should. I would probably pay him, you know, like he funny as heck to me sometimes, you know, so I can see him laying out that format and pursuing that. But he hasn't yet. He say he is, so, you know, when he do, all will be well. We'll be there. I'll be there. I'll be in support of whatever he got going on. But yeah, my point of it is that if that is his vision, I ain't gotta watch every episode. Y'all don't watch every one of my episodes, and if you do, you don't watch them timely. It might be a month later before some of y'all. I mean, I got family around me that don't even get involved with what I got going on. You know what I'm saying? I got family around, but I accept that because I understand that, you know, a prophet is without honor. I mean, is with honor except in his own city. So I accept that from my family. I don't expect that from y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because y'all think y'all know me. Y'all think y'all know my flaws, my mistakes, my error. Maybe we had a miscommunication. Maybe we had an argument down the line. Maybe whatever it was. You know, and then I come on here and I get to talking like, and now y'all sitting back like, oh, now he want to be Mr. Good. Oh, now he want to be a saint. Oh, now he done went to jail and he done learned a little something. Now he want to be a preacher. And this, you know, it's always going to be the ones in your in crowd that's going to be your most difficult supporters. You know what I'm saying? And I call them difficult supporters because somewhere down the line or somewhere at the beginning of it, they're going to give you some support. They're going to speak of you. Because you can't help but honor what's real. You know what I'm saying? It might not be the support you want. It might not be as strong as you want. But it's going to be there. But it's going to be a degree of reluctance too, because, like I say, they know you more intimately than the rest of the world. So the rest of the world might come in and be like, man, I love that brother, man. That spiritual advisor, Mark McCline, man, he the truth, this, that, and other. Then I got family that's close to me every day that's sitting back like, man, he all right here. You know, he say something every now and then. They going to doubt because they know me. But it's the same thing for you and your circle. But I'm telling you, don't misuse that circle. Don't neglect that circle. Don't even jeopardize or sacrifice that circle. Because all support is good support. And then what I'm beginning to learn is, as they talking that, it inspires me, it motivates me to reach them. And in process, trying to reach them and get them to see the truth and, you know, ravishing this truth and be like, you know what, man, this brother cold for real. What everybody else thinking, when I win you, then I know I won out there. You feel me what I'm saying? I know the audience is pleased when I can get those closest around me and they attitude. When I see them growing, then I know y'all growing. When I see them excited, then I know y'all enthused. When I see them standing in amazement of whatever may come out my mouth or however I may deliver a lesson or this, that, and other, when they get to talking about it, I know y'all talking about it. You feel me? So even though they not everything that I want them to be, they them. They doing them. And I learned to take that as a measurement. You know what I'm saying? And where I'm going with what I want to do. So, you know, I measure myself to them. So, you know, if I hear, I ain't even going to call it negative, but if I hear a lot of non-supportive riffraff coming from those that I call family and this, that, and other, then that made me want to come back with a sermon to hit harder. And I'm going to probably build that sermon around whatever y'all whispers are or they whispers are, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to attack them because I want to reach their spirit, because I know that they acting like a human man and not spirit man. So I want to get past their human and get to their spirit man. If I can bypass their human and get their spirit man, then I know spiritually y'all being fed. I know spiritually y'all fulfilled. I know because y'all believing and y'all trusting in the leadership that's coming from me. You trusting the words already. You giving up the benefit of doubt. You like what's being said. It's only the challenge over here. And I use that challenge as steel. Steel sharpens steel. So even though they not doing what I want them to do and they call themselves downplay, I learned to use it to my benefit, because all things work together for the good of God. And when you serve God, you got to find good of everything around you. So whether they like it or not, I'm using them to sharpen myself up. You know what I'm saying? They right there, they helping me regardless. They don't even have to want to. You have no choice. You have no choice. And that's in everything that you encounter in life. You get to make that decision of what's beneficial to you and how you going to use it to make it a benefit to you. How you going to use people to be a benefit to you. How you know, everything you encounter, God has brought before you to benefit you some kind of way. If it's not benefiting you, it's your fault for not finding the benefit. You can't, you know, like some people be like, you know, you got to thank your haters, because without your haters, you know, you wouldn't have nobody. You know what I'm saying? You wouldn't have supporters. But, you know, haters speaking your name out there. They giving you free publicity, this, that, and other. Okay, that's a positive way to look at it. You know what I'm saying? I know. I done already encountered it. So I know what haters can do. You know what I'm saying? I don't prefer to call them haters. They're just challenges. You know what I'm saying? They people that's challenged. You might not believe in me. You might be jealous of me. You might, you know, you might think I'm fake. You might think, oh, I'm another ex-prison preacher. And you might go through all that. But at the end of the day, my words speak for themselves. My words create, save, and destroy. I'm giving you powers to save right now. But I destroy things in the process, like that human in you, the way man thinks today, the slave mentality, the brainwashing that you go through. I'm destroying that to get you to see your spiritual self. I need you to see yourself as the child of God. I need you to know that you and God are one. I need you to know that God dwells in you and that anything is possible because of that factor alone. I don't need you to trust me to lead you to God. Jesus said that I am the way, And there's no way to the Father but through him. But who was Jesus? Jesus was love made manifest. So let's look at the word. There's no way to the Father but through love. How can you communicate with God? In spirit. The spirit is rooted in love. What's the first commandment? Love one another. So Jesus was love made manifest. So now you hearing people look at it and you taking this physical form that you know there's nothing. God had already told you the physical form is nothing. He already told you the only way to communicate with him is in the spirit. So why would you follow this image of a man named Jesus to think that he gonna lead you to God? No, it's the spirit that embodied Jesus. And that spirit was love. So love is the only way to the Father. And love is the way to the Father. Love is the path that lights the way to God. Your Father. Understand this, it's not a man. The Son of God is not a man. Let me say that again, man. The Son of God is not a man. It's impossible. God ain't a man. We made in the image and likeness of. You constantly reminded that this flesh is nothing. You are of the world. You are in the world. You are not of the world. I'm losing. I've been so gone. My adrenaline up, man. Like, I'm telling you, I've been loving this. I've been building on this. And God gave me something to get to y'all. This was just, like the opening act, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? Just to remind y'all that, I'm consistent, man, about this. Man, I'm serious about this. I'm serious about your relationship with God. I'm serious about giving you your sovereign self back. I'm serious about removing the shackles from your brains. I'm serious about you having free dome to think. Free your dome. Think for yourself. You know what I'm saying? And I want you to take that. Once you free your dome, you come into a sovereign state. And then you begin to learn in that sovereign state who your God really is, how great he is, how powerful he is, how present he always is. And you feel the connection that has never, ever been broken. It has never been broken. It's been buried. It's been deception. It's been manipulation. It's been brainwashing. It's been all kind of brutalities to hide the connection between you and God. Because it's been very important for man to control man. And the only way a man can control a man is to remove his God. Because those who know their relationship with God and know that God and him are one cannot be controlled by another man. He's not going to allow that to happen. That's why in the olden times when you used to read about them going to conquer other people, the first thing they distorted and threw away and trashed was the people's religion. They took their God and they brought them a God and introduced them to their God and made them think the way they want to think about their God. No different than when blacks was brought into this country or they were brought upon this land. Not all of us, because some of us was already here. Don't get it twisted. We ain't going with the Christopher Columbus, discovered nothing. This was already here. We was already here. Moors was already on this land. And that's that. That's bottom line. When they looked up, they already seen us. We was here. So all of us wasn't brought here. However, when that ship came with the shipment of slaves, they took their religion. They took their God. And then they started teaching you religion. They start teaching you religion so that you could think the way that they think. Now, what does the word? Like I tell people, I deal with the etymology of words. Don't take words for superficial. You got to remember, first and foremost, the American language is a junk language. So all the words in America come from a foreign country. Pretty much of them, French, the British, Africa, is a junk language. So what Webster's tell you this word mean ain't really what it means. It's a similar meaning, but it's not really what it means. So if you really want to understand the essence of the word, and you want to get the power of the words that you use, then you got to study etymology. Etymology is the study of words. So that means you want to know where this word derived from, who created it, why they created it, and what did it mean to them. Then once it got watered down to Webster, and Webster tell you this is what it means, you can get away from the watered down version and go right back to the origin of where it was created. So when we talk about the origin of the word religion, anything that start off with R-E, any word that you run across that start off with R-E is like saying redo, rethink, replenish, replace, remark, remember. It's like redo. So why would religion be anything else? So the origin of the word religion is to relink. How can you relink to something that you was never delinked from? So religion is to link you back up with something that you lost. What did you lose? You lost your God. So they brought you religion to relink you with another God that served the best interests of your slave master. You know what I'm saying? Be it Pharaoh, I don't care what you call him. Be him Pharaoh, be him president, be him king, queen. I don't care what titles you call them and what rulership they use. It was in their benefit. Anytime you come across a religion, and I know some of y'all may be offended by this because y'all religious people, as y'all want to call it, but look up the word. I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. I'm not here to deceive you. I get nothing out of deceiving you. I get nothing out of manipulating you. I get nothing out of none of this that I'm doing other than those who take what I take what I say, take it to themselves, and make themselves a better individual. Now, from that, I get heaven. From that, I get smiles from my Father for being a good son, being duty-bound, being steadfast. But look the words up. I just gave you the simplest thing. Rethink, remember, replenish, remark. Like all these, it's been done. So when they say relink, you already had a God. What are you linking me up to? This is why this is called the link up. Because we replacing missing links. We get it? Replacing, relink, relit. We doing it again. The chain has been broken. It was already there. But now we relinking. We the link up. We relinking the chains that's in our benefit. Not chains of slavery and bondage, but the chains of connection. The chain of strength. The chain of power. The chain of force. The chain that keeps us tied. Because we bound by cord. You know what I'm saying? I call it a chain, a cord, but we bound. So I'm trying to relink us to one another. But I only want to be linked with those who has a proper understanding that all you need to understand for me to link with you is that you and God are one and that God dwells in you. Now, whether you know how to manipulate that or utilize that or hold on to that, remain faithful to that, I have no idea. That's what we here to do. We here to help each other learn. I mean, it's going to be things that y'all teach me. I learn all the day from y'all. I learn all day from other people. Like I told y'all, the world is my book. You know what I'm saying? I don't go out into society and see what you see per se. I see storylines unfolding. And I see the hand of God moving inside that. And I'm trying to figure out what God is telling us or telling them when they do that, because as a spiritual advisor, it's my job to make sense of the things that don't make sense to y'all. You know what I'm saying? Like some of us, you know, in this time, I'd have been to a lot of funerals. I'd have had a lot of young people dying. Foolishly, frivolously, speeding, for no reason, losing control, running in the building, burning up, splitting cars in half, being ejected from cars. You got those that's fleeing from police for traffic violation because you in a fast car. I mean, you know, we can go on and on. We got senseless deaths that don't have to occur, but they occur. And The families that losing these individuals don't feel good about it, yet at the end of the time, as the spiritual advisor, I have to remember that all things work together for the good of God. So those that's being taken away from us, it's got to be a part of God's plan and goodness. It got to be. And it's my job to try to figure that out. And maybe it's because just a thought. Maybe so much is happening amongst our youth. Because it's like if y'all don't get yourself right, if y'all don't start thinking properly, you already dead. You won't get to see 50, 60 years old with the way y'all thinking, 80 years old. You won't get to see life in them years. A lot of y'all right now, if you make it to 30, it's almost a miracle in this world. That's how young children acting out here. That's how our youth acting. And then you got everybody sitting there, including myself. I don't raise my children that way. But that don't mean my children can't be a victim of somebody else's child. And that's why it's important for us to find commonality to get this link up. It's important for us to link up with one another, because when we start teaching our children according to the same principles that we being taught, then our children will have a greater value of one another. Our death rate will go down. They won't be so quick to kill each other. They won't be so quick to run for the police. They'll face whatever the situation is, if they even had to be involved with it at all. You know what I'm saying? It used to be a thing in my time that, you know, if you can't do the crime, don't do the crime. You know what I'm saying? Now, too many of y'all dying, fleeing and eluding. And y'all killing other people. Innocent life. But that's what happened when you become a wreck in your own life. You had the ability to wreck other people's lives. So God is revealing, when they say all things work together for the good of God, God is revealing to you how powerful you are. That you can affect other families. That's power. And we misusing that power. We abusing that power. We neglecting that power. We taking advantage of that power. And we need to come back to our sane self, our sane spiritual self. And that's all that I really want us to do, man, because when we do that, we're going to make the world a better place. Like I tell y'all every day, wake up and make a choice. You know what I'm saying? If you don't like the storyline of your life, you are the author. You the narrative. You write the narrative of your storyline. Your day will go how you want it to go. If you want to smile all day, you have that right. You have that power. You can make it happen. Only you can do it. But when you dependent on other people to make you smile, you dependent on other people to make you happy, you dependent on other people to make you feel loved, you get further and further away from God, because all that comes between me and God. I'm only to share all of it with y'all. I'm not counting on none of y'all. I learned that for real, for real. I'm not counting on nobody to show me how to love me, because those that I love have failed me. You don't return the love as it's given. You know what I'm saying? Y'all still got insecurities and, you know, jealousies or whatever. I don't know what y'all got going on. And I really don't even care to waste my time on that type of energy or that type of person or that type of, I ain't even gonna, because it can't, you know, I don't deal with evil spirits. I don't know what that is. I don't deal with that. So, but whatever y'all bring it to the table, I don't want it. So I'm like, keep that. You know what I'm saying? I'm so solo now, I ain't even a number one. I'm just a single. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a number. I'm just a single. Is it. It ain't nobody but me and God now. Everything I do with that thought in mind. I'm not expecting nothing from nobody. Nobody. I'm going to be a father, and I'm going to do my best at raising these people to be better people in this world. That's it. When they go out on their own, that's it for me, man. I'm a teacher. That's it. That's all I want to do is teach. And I ain't telling you like I'm the coldest teacher on the face of the earth. I got all the answers, this, that, other. I ain't got to have all the answers, but I got the answer. And the answer is that me and God are one. And I love my Father like my Father loved me. And I believe whatever he brings into my life, I trust that it's meant for my good, no matter how painful it is, no matter how sickening it is, none of that. It's something that you want me to get from this. It's something that I'm supposed to learn from this. So I take on everything with what is God saying to me, not what nobody else said. Because man, people ain't to be trusted. You feel me? People ain't to be trusted. I'm not asking you to trust me as the spiritual advisor. I'm asking you to pay attention to my words. Trust the message. Don't worry about the messenger. Trust the message. If the message is something that helps you grow in life, take that message and move on. All you can say is, I got it from this brother. He spoke it, I heard it, and I utilized it for my own good. That ain't got nothing to do. I don't know nothing about the brother. I don't have nothing to do with what he got going on in his personal life. He spoke words to me. No different than y'all scrolling Instagram and hearing all these quotes that we get to talking about and being like, yeah, that's real stuff. That's 100. Bullseye. Same thing. I ain't nothing but a live Instagram quote. I'm going to say something that's going to touch somebody. It's just going to spark somebody. It's going to make somebody a better them. That's our job. It won't be everybody. You know what I'm saying? So stop looking at man, stop looking at woman for your accolades, because you liable not to get them. Look to God. God, the only one you want to smile on you. God, the only one you need to approve you. God, the only one that can authenticate you. Don't get away from this, man. That's man following man. It's just another trick into man following man. Stop looking for your approval from man. And I'm going to give you, we're going to get into it. But aside from all that, in my absence, you know what I'm saying, I didn't do it a lot. It's been an emotional wilderness journey. You know what I'm saying? A lot of hindrance, a lot of revealing has been done as to people that I ain't gonna say thought that loved me or this, because they still may love me, but they love me the way they love me. You know what I'm saying? It ain't a healthy love, if you get what I'm saying. Like they could be drunk and not paying me, drunk off carnal things, drunk off the things of the world, and they drunk off these things, and they not as coherent with me. They not as attentive with me. They not allowing themselves to be useful and beneficial to me. But at a distance, it's still love. From me, it's still love. You know what I'm saying? I can only trust that they love me because there is no other reason to not love me. You know what I'm saying? There's no violations that been committed between us personally, physically, or none of this. So everything that you going, it got to be a distortion in your dome telling you, whatever it's telling you. And I'm just going to sit back and allow you to go through whatever you go through, because that's what I do. I don't interrupt whatever guy got going on in nobody's life. You know what I'm saying? When he send me, he send me. If he don't, he don't. I sit back, I watch fools unfold all day. But I watch genius create all day too. But you got to let fools be fools, and you got to let genius be genius. When you allow, it's like, say, free will. I'm not allowed to intervene in your free will. Now, I can see a fool walking up the street, and he walking the wrong way, or he doing something, and I'll be like, man, the police right up there, man. I can see your pistol hanging out your pocket. And you, oh, man, I'll bump the police. Okay, walk into your destiny. Walk into it. I wasn't here to hinder it. But if I can't get you to rethink and think in your higher self, then walk into your destiny. I did my part. I gave you the message. Now let's keep it moving. That's it. I'm just dropping messages to human ears. I'm living the example for human eyes to behold. I speak words for the humans to embrace, to act on. But I can't make nobody do that. You can't make nobody do that. That's between you and God. Free will, man. We can't intervene with free will. And that's where we at. You know what I'm saying? So this absence, at the end of it, maybe probably about almost 10 days ago that one of the other spiritual people that I communicate with, they was like, right now, you sounding like Joseph from the book of Genesis. And any of y'all that's, religious or spiritual about it, Joseph was a dreamer, a dream interpreter to be precise. But in the process, Joseph was a slave overall. You know what I'm saying? He was sold into slavery. He had a master and this, that, and other. But he had what we would call a good master. You know what I'm saying? And the master entrusted him with everything in his household because he seen that God had favor on Joseph. So when he turned over everything to Joseph that he owned, except his wife. Joseph had reign and control over everything else, but not his wife. So Joseph Joseph was the type of person, which I look at it, he did what was right because it was the right thing to do. And regardless of what anybody want to think about me or how they want to speak, I try to do everything right because it's just the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? I try not to get off into none of the things that can hinder a relationship or hinder a connection or blur a connection. And like I say, sometimes I may not always get it right because I am human. But I'm one that can be talked to, and you show me I ain't do it right, and I'll be like, okay, my bad, I got you. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take it that way. I didn't mean it that way. Yet I see how the interpretation downplay. It's communication. You know what I'm saying? It's communication. Because one thing I learned that, the only thing you can lose in life is time. You know what I'm saying? You can never get time back. And even though there's a lot of things that go on in my world that I wish I could have more time to do and participate in, I try not to be neglectful or demeaning to time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate being in anybody's space at any given time. If I'm around you and you allow me around you and, whatever we doing to promote our peace, our love, our friendship, our family, our strength, our courage, our self-confidence, whatever we doing to bring this build about, that good energy, that good vibe, that celebration of just living, I'm grateful. You know what I'm saying? With where I done come from in life, I ain't had to be here. Many times, there's a lot of people that thought that I would never make it to this point. I remember being told plenty of times that I'd never see 21. So, and here I am. Here I am. I'm way older than 21. I can guarantee you that. Double it up. And I'm still here. I'm here with sanity. I'm here with my limbs. I'm here with articulation. I'm here with a form of intelligence. I ain't doing bad after everything that went on. I'm not doing bad at all. And I give all praise to God. I'm grateful because who I am is who He solidified me to be, and I'm one that always find a way to elevate. You know what I'm saying? And what I learned about elevating is it's not physical. At one point in time, I chased the physical elevation because I thought the more money we had, the more stuff we had, the more successful and the better, it solidified us as people. Like, oh yeah, they good people. This, that, and other. They ain't got that bread. They eating over there. They living good. I thought that was the way until I really met God, and my elevation became spiritual. And it ain't about what I, physically got or don't got. It's about who I am. And it's about who you are. And God wants you to know that because that's what we lost on. That's why we don't value one another. That's why we dying the way we dying. Because we no longer have value over us. We got value for Gucci. We got value for Balenciaga. We got value for Louis Vuitton. We got value for Adidas, Nike, whatever, Ferragamo. Whatever name you chase after, Levi, I don't care what the name brand is, but we chase brands and we don't chase our spiritual connections. So the evidence of the world is why is all this happening, because it's shocking. When you get to hearing about all this death, when you get to hearing about the mothers our young, you get to hearing about how our young killing each other, how we killing our own wealth and our own communities, and yet we complaining about the things that's going on. Well, these things is being manifested to you because God wants you to feel a type of way about it. Because until you begin to feel a type of way about it, you're not going to do nothing. You're not moved to do nothing. You're not motivated to do nothing. You're not inspired to do nothing. So this stuff is being brought to your doorstep now. And it's being brought to you personally. And it's starting to touch people. But it's starting to connect people. The pain and the sorrow of death is starting to connect people. And people want to start saying, put down the gun. You know what I'm saying? They want gun violence control. They want gun control. They starting to want to monitor. Because in route of their journey, they want to stop the killing. Some of us genuinely do, but you got to remember, even though that pain is inside this small circle, and we all starting to feel it, and we looking for answers and solutions to correct this problem so we can save our children. Well, we fighting the power that don't care about our children. We fighting the power that say our earth is overpopulated and people need to die. So depopulation is real, and it's an agenda, and it is a war on human beings. It's a war that they would never tell you about, but it's a war on humanity because there's too many people on earth. And it's the government duty to kill as many people as they can kill. I can only speak the truth, man. You know what I'm saying? I mean, hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, some people look at it and be like, man, that's kind of cruel to say the government out. You know, they created COVID, they created AIDS, HIV, and all these other diseases and things of this nature. They poison our food. I'm like, okay, I get it. It is a cruel world, but it's a cynical world anyway. It's a fleshly world. So what I try to get people to do is logically put yourself in a position of power. And as parents, you are in a position of power. You might not have never been in this position, but let's just say you in a household and it don't matter how many the number, 2 or 3 people got to go for the rest of the people to live. How many times, what would you do first and foremost with that? That's the thing. But how many times have you been in the old school, my times? I remember parents that would put out the bad child to save the rest of the children. I remember, you know, parents who would do that because they couldn't allow that child to become an influence to the rest of the household. So in our time, it used to be like, you know, if you continuously want to walk with the devil, you can walk with him outside these walls. You won't walk with him inside my home. Ain't nothing in my house but God and Jesus. Well, at that time, they were saying ain't nothing in my house but Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Because Jesus and God was synonymous. So they was like, ain't nothing in my house but Jesus. So when you act outside of Jesus, they would put children out, especially male children. But I know a few females that got put out too for being, you know, whorish at a young age. Like, you ain't gonna be doing that under my roof. We had stern parents back there that just, it was set like that. So that was a form of depopulation. Now you look at it on a bigger scale and you got a government force, and here it is, you got a country like America, or you're a world leader, and the world say we rated at like somewhere between 6 and 7 billion people, and we 2 billion people overpopulated. So what does that mean in science? I try to tell people that it's like, man, when you go to science, you know, they used to have these globes in the science class that hung on a string. And this is what my science teacher did a long time ago. I don't know why. I haven't found nobody else to say their science teacher did this. And I don't have one of my classmates to really kind of confirm it. But logically, we finna go into it and it's gonna make sense before I get into the spiritual reading, right? So, I don't know, but we had these, they was like the whole earth. There was Jupiter, it was the whole galaxy. It was Jupiter, Saturn, but all of them hung from a string. So, one day he was telling us that the world was going to become overpopulated, and it would shift. I ain't really grasped the word shift back then as I grasp it now. So I knew that he was telling us that things was going to change. And he spoke on like the seasons and this, that, and other, how some was going to be late, like they wasn't going to be able to monitor it. Like right now, it's supposed to be like 3 months to every season. Well, now it might be 3.5 months to a season, 4 months to a season, and somebody else getting shorted. Like you can't time it no more. So he was letting us know this, right? So what he did is, and ironically, he took the planet Earth globe and he started adding the things to the Earth. And as he was adding it, the Earth got heavier. It got heavier. So the string that it was hanging from, it started pulling the Earth out of its natural order with the rest of the universe. The rest of the universe, it was set in its perfect order. But the heavier it got, the Earth globe began to drop because it was gaining weight. So he was telling us, like, we outside the natural order, which was with the evidence of not being able to predict things, seasons going longer than this, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. Now, you got to think, this had to be like nearly 40 years ago, plus maybe. And this, when you become a student of God and you allow God to be your teacher, your pastor, your minister, this, that, that's who God is. That's the only person I count on. I don't count on no man. If me and God can't discuss it, it's not meant to be discussed. You feel me? Like, I listen to people, I learn from people, I understand what people saying sometimes. Some of y'all stuff makes sense, I agree with it, I utilize it, and I discard the rest. You know what I'm saying? But from God, I go to him for all verification. You the only one that can solidify anything that come out my mouth before it come out my mouth. So can't nobody be like, man, you need to give a sermon on this, and you need to say like, nope. I'm not here to say what you want me to say. I'm here to say what he want me to say. And as long as I abide by that, then I know I'm straight. So anyway, years later, now here we are. I feel like as we standing on Earth, I'm looking at this science project or this science lesson where he taught us, like, the more people that's getting on Earth, I can see, it's like I can feel the Earth drifting out of the universe natural order. So I'm quite sure all y'all experience, how many times has the weatherman got it wrong? Very often. But then those of my generation, when the weatherman spoke, he was like 100. When he said it would start raining at 1 o'clock, 1:07, man, it generally started raining at 1 o'clock, 1:07. They were so accurate back in the day. Snowstorms, this, that, and other. Like now in Michigan, the Midwest, we not even getting winters no more. And the South is starting to get snow, where it was considered to never get snow. They tell you it's supposed to rain, then it don't rain. They tell you this, and then that don't happen. They tell you, because they don't want to tell you that man is out of control. Man has no control. Now you look at that and be like, hey, okay, all right. But then now it get deeper. This is why I want you to watch with the lessons from the link up. It get deeper because as I'm beginning to tell you, excuse me, as I'm telling you that man is out of control, he don't control nothing. First and foremost, that then tells you there's something greater than man that is in control. So this is God's way of proving to you that I'm still in control. This is my puppet show. You might think you running something, but you ain't running nothing. And he's showing his hand right now. And you need to look to the world. All things work together for the good of God. Amen. 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 You got to look at it this way, because now with man who been preaching himself to be God himself on earth, knowing the know all, be all, end all to him, this is how he been fashioning himself. Now we ain't gonna talk about what man, but everybody, use your own logic behind it. But man has been making himself out to be God. He in control of everything. He know everything. He predict these things. He been 100. Now that power is stripped from you. So it's like this man that built himself so high, now you able to see him, he's starting to break down. Now you know what that do to you because you was the slave. This is the slave master. And you looked up highly to him. You looked to him and God as being like almost equals. Y'all held him at a standard that was above you. Well, God breaking that slave master down now. He ain't got control of the fields like he used to. He ain't able to predict the things like he used to. He's not as powerful as he used to be. So that's going to make him even look more human to you and I. So guess what? Inadvertently, that's going to allow us to feel a sense of equality. Before you can feel superior, you got to at least feel equal. So we growing back up into a state of equality. And we're going to find ourselves getting stronger because something is being fed. It's your spiritual self. Your spirit is being fed. The spirit is not just magnificent, but it's enduring, it's persevering. As much as dirt and brainwashing, falsehood and lies and all these torture and brutal acts been placed upon it to try to hide it within you, the spirit is still fighting like, I'm coming. I'm coming. I'm breaking your enemy down where you're going to be able to see your enemy eye to eye and you won't have to fear him as much as you had to fear God. I'm going to take the fear that you got from your enemy, from your slave master. I'm going to remove that fear because I'm going to make you see his humanity. I'm going to make you see that he's a man. He's a mere mortal man. And he was never meant to be your master. He was never meant to be a slave master. He was never meant to control you. The only person we were supposed to be a servant to was God our Father. Amen. Praise God. This is the only person we were supposed to be a servant to. And everything we serve him stems from love. It stems from beauty. The garden of beauty. So now he breaking your enemy down to look this way. So that you can see yourself clear. That you can feel the God within you working. You getting stronger. Don't be fooled in thinking your feminist movement is helping you get stronger, or as men you got better employment options. So you, oh yeah, we got black rights now. It ain't none of that. It's God. God working in you. God moving things in the world. He causing a shift. Don't give him credit for what God is doing for you. God is moving things out your way and in your way for your purpose and your purpose only. It's a spiritual awakening going on in the world. It has nothing to do with the physical world. It's God working in you. He's moving through you right now. And there's a lot of sadness because before you get to rebuild it, you have to destroy. Before you put a new building on top of your foundation, you have to destroy the building that was there. So right now we in the days of destruction. Yeah, we losing our young, we losing our elder, we losing a lot of people. It's a lot of pain with destroying. It's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of memories lost. It's a recreation. It's a rebirth. It's a renewal. Remember, we're in the 8. We're on the number 8 of infinity. All things are possible. And in 2025, we'll be on the number 9. Isn't this the birth of creation? Our time is running out. Next year, we got to start creating. We got to start manifesting the things that God is moving out our way right now. And he's moving it out by destroying it. So while they thinking they smart and destroying things that you think you want, they destroying things that you don't need. They think they pushing you out, but they really pushing you towards God. And you need to know that. So don't fight. Don't resist. Change. It ain't real. Don't resist it because what's coming is real. Look around the world, all you see is construction. It's a rebuild going on. Man, talk to me, man. All around the world, you can't go nowhere. It's a rebuilding going on everywhere. And what they rebuilding? Roads. And what do roads represent? Pathways. Pathways to what? Pathways to direction. Pathways to a course. You going somewhere. God is God, amen. God is God. You can't make this up, man. I'm trying to tell you, God's showing you. My hand is here. I'm present. I got these idiots doing what I want to do, and they think they doing something slick. They think they doing something slick. And you, inadvertently, you doing the will of God. Why? Because all things work together for the good of God. Amen. All things work together for the good of God. Don't forget them words. When things get ugly, blurred, dark, and you feel like it's not going your way, remember, all things work together for the good of God. They reconstruction the pathways for you. They gonna make your transition smooth. You're gonna be able to cruise. Ride the highway with ease. It's about to be new turf. But the thing with new turf comes new leadership. Every time you create something new, it gotta be something that govern it new. It's about to be new leadership, man. You about to get your shot. I'm telling you that, man. It don't matter how it look like it's going. It's all gonna end up in y'all hands anyway. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from Nova Drew Ali. I'm telling you, it don't matter. It might look chaotic to y'all, but I just gave you a clear example. Every now and then I try to drop something on y'all that the rest of the world ain't giving you. So when you see that construction, don't get offended at it. Don't get mad at the single lanes and this, that, and other. Sometimes it takes that single lane to open up more lanes. But you got to walk that single lane. Remember when you was in elementary school? And you had to walk the single lane to get to the bathroom, to the lunch cafeteria? Everybody had to, it was an order to that. All that other hallway, but they didn't allow you to run amok. They kept you in a single line to maintain discipline and order. So it's the same way right now. God is looking for the discipline and the order that's in us. So while we doing this single line, we getting from where we need to get to, and we getting there safely. But when that school bell ring and it all opens up, y'all know what that felt like. Y'all know what that felt like when that school bell rang and you all ran out there. Everybody hitting their lockers. You got all the space. You can move and go wherever you want to go. Heavenly. That's your boy, man. I'm just the spiritual advisor, Mark McCline. I bring you what I got to bring you because I'm giving you what's been given to me. You can't see it until it's shown to you. I'm showing it to you all around the world. He reconstructing it for you, for new leadership. There's a new pathway being paved, and it's being paved by the enemy. Now, I don't look at the construction workers and all that. And that's not the enemy. It's the plot that the enemy thinking that he's doing, and it's going to be used against him. We finna have greater access to one another. He making our transition smoother for one another. He putting us in power and don't even realize it. The only way this don't work, because even though everything works together for the good of God, you got to play your part. You got to be ready to take the bull by the horns. You got to know that you one of the greatest leaders of all leaders. You can't be afraid of where you about to be thrust into. Because it's no different than what all y'all doing right now with managing and maintaining your households. This is a government. Your household is a form of a government within itself. You got a president and a vice president. You got a king and a queen. You got a mother and a father. Then you got subjects, you got citizens, customers, whatever. They call children. Then you lay down laws as the mother to how the house is to be ran. And the king, he solidifies and reinforces them orders, them laws. Whatever you make out, he stands as the muscle, the strength to support that. He approves that. And that's how then you enact it. Now the children have to be obedient. When the children become disobedient, you got punishments for violating house rules. Sometimes you send them to their room. You send them to jail. Go to your room 2-3 days. Come straight home from work. In prison, they do the same thing. You know what I'm saying? You go to school, come to school, you're on top lock. You lost some privileges. This, that, and other. Can't go nowhere. That's a government body already. God has been already teaching you how to govern a nation within your household. So now you expand the theory of your household. So you went from 3 children to 3 million as a governor, as a mayor. Then it go to 1 billion as a congressman or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Then you get the president status and you got 3 billion people you got to look at, but they all your children. And you treat them the same way with the same regard that you would treat that same small household. See, that's what people like. In my time, they had this show called Little House on the Prairie. On the prairie, like, I'm not even gonna speak, but if you want to look at that, go back and look at that show and think about what I just said, because all of us are built to lead. It's just in what role do you lead? Everybody can't be the president because there's only one. Everybody can't be the queen, there's only one. You know what I'm saying? So the attributes of respect, of consideration, submission, tolerance, all these things come into play. But these are the things of God that you're supposed to build up anyway. You know, the problem is a lot of our children, a lot of our subjects, a lot of our citizens get unhappy with something and they want to challenge the power structure for their own greed and average ways, and then you get mischief, conflict, war, and anything else can pop off. You know what I'm saying? So, but it's just like your own household. That's why God got you focusing on your household now. You ain't noticed how much we've been staying home? See, they think they shut the world off to us. Give y'all another gem. They think they just shut the world off to us. They think when they created COVID and they locked us into our homes and this, that, and the other, what they were showing us truthfully from God's perspective is we in the world, we not of the world. So what you mean about that, spiritual advice? I mean this. They sent you back into your own wilderness. And you learned so much about yourself. You learned a lot of your strengths and you learned a lot of your weaknesses. You learned those that was going to be able to lead, those that was going to be able to teach, those that was going to be able to reinforce. You figured out a lot about who you are. And the community around you can figure it out because a lot of the in-house problems surfaced outside for us to see. So now we know who was strong and who was weak. We know who may be better at this and who may be better. We learned things about ourselves that we wouldn't have learned if we wouldn't force to deal with ourselves. All things work together. All things work together for the good of God. That's all I'm gonna tell you now. Now, you know, I am excited about being back, but however, let me take that butt off. I am excited about being back. However, I'm more time conscious now. So the sermon that I had for you, or the sermon that I have for you, I'm going to get back with you on that. In a day or two, I think I'm back on path. I might be doing better than I was doing before. It might be more frequent than anything. This is the first night. This is the first time it's going down. I've been back. I'm happy to be back. I'm glad I ain't lose none of y'all. I'm glad I gained followers. Like, let it be known. You know what I'm saying? I hope y'all kept y'all things up. And remember, subscribe, comment, and share, man. I can't say that enough, man. Let's get this ball running. We on a move. Believe me, work with me. Work with me. I'm telling you, we going to do mighty things together, man. All right, I'm going to bid y'all a good night, man. God love you. I love you. Love each other. Love you one another. And I'm your man from the Link Up, the spiritual advisor, Mark McCline. And I was being, hey, enjoy yourself.